Hello everyone, and welcome back to week 30 of our Minecraft Let's Play series. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. So as you may have noticed, I've been hard at work at the beginning of this episode, going ahead and clearing out the area for the village hall. I've been going ahead and bringing axolotls, as well as digging the hole for future projects. And I've also brought all these wolves back, if you haven't noticed already. But all but one of that is really not going to be used for this week, so let's actually see what we're going to be doing this week. So currently, all I have planned right now is I want to prepare for the villagers for the villager hall. Basically, I want to start getting a floor plan put down, as well as possibly even figuring out how we're going to be moving all the villagers over there, and when we even get all the villagers, to be fair, because we need a decent amount of those. I want to do some base improvements, and that includes making the building for the water wheel finally, because we only made the water wheel last week. And then I want to go ahead and start working on the nether portal, because while it is, kind of fine just being in the little alcove right there, I do want to go ahead and actually detail it a bit, so it's not just that. And then finally, all I have at the moment is I want to go ahead and finally work on the spider farm, due to the fact that I've been talking about it for a few weeks and I've just never touched it right now. So that is actually what we're going to be going ahead and doing first. As you may see behind me, I have a shulker box right here that has a bunch of stone in it, as well as some water buckets, and we're going to be taking these items and we're going to at least try getting the floor plan down for the spider farm, if not just finishing the spider farm this week. So with all that being said, I will go ahead and meet you guys at the location where we found those 3 spider spawners close together. Alright, so here we are with the spawners, and these are the ones that I want to actually build off of because, well, there is 3 right next to each other, and I'm thinking that if we stand somewhere around in this area, we will be able to get all of them to spawn at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clear out the area a bit, and I'm going to start putting a box around one of these just to kind of see what we're working with. Because just like the skeleton spawner, we need a 9x9 area around those things, so that's what I'm going to try and do. And then what I'm thinking is we'll have maybe a 3-block tall ceiling on top of it. We'll see how that goes though. You know, I didn't think about bringing some wood to make this farm actually work either, and that's kind of necessary, so yeah, I might have to go grab some wood from the locals. Now, I gotta do the same thing for that one over there and this one over here, which this wood's actually gonna be more of a pain in the butt. Alright, that's 2 of these rooms done. Now we gotta get this one set up. Oh, okay. And there we go, and we now have 3 of these spawn rooms crafted for each of the spawners. We got one here, and then one all the way over here. And I think, honestly, this will end up working out the way I was hoping it would, where I can get it all to spawn in one area if I just go ahead and stand in one place, which that is quite nice. I was actually kind of worried about that, but I forgot how close these 2 were together, and honestly, if I stand about probably here, I'm thinking it might work, but we shall see. I'm gonna actually show you guys. I haven't completely finished these, because if we actually go here, you can see that the hole that they're supposed to drop into doesn't go anywhere at the moment, and that's just because at the moment, if I go ahead and work on those tubes, we're gonna be here for a lot longer than I was kind of hoping for. So I'm actually thinking that we'll probably go ahead and finish this project up next week, but I'm glad that we actually got started on all the rooms, because it took a lot more time than I was expecting, I'm gonna be honest. But nonetheless, I'm quite happy that we went ahead and made these rooms, because that is the first step in making this project. Next will be going ahead and getting them to fall down into the hole, and then getting them to be moved across into an area where we can just attack all 3 sources at the same time. But I digress. Now we're gonna go ahead and head back to our base, and we'll start up on something else. So I'll meet you guys over there. Alright, now that we've gone ahead and done the spider farm to an extent, obviously, we'll go back and finish it up next week, but we now have something else I want to do, which I want to go ahead and prepare for the villager hall. And what does that mean? Well, I finally went ahead and after all the planning I gave, I think a few weeks ago now, to kind of figure out the numbers that I wanted to have for each villager, I've gone and made a concrete number for each job type, which you can now see here. Now, you may notice that it used to be a maximum of 40 per group, and you may see that I have 42 librarians here, which is already over the number 40. And the reason for this being is because in the new update, we are going to be getting the mace weapon with 3 new enchantments. Now, the number was already at 39 with all the enchantments you can get from villagers, but now if I go ahead and turn it up to 42, that will cover over the new 3 enchantments. So I did have to change some things now. These add up to 42. You can go and check my math if you want, but I already checked it. These add up to 42 and this adds up to 42. So what I need to do is I need to go ahead and look through my chest, see if I have any of these job site blocks just laying around, and whatever I don't have laying around, we need to go ahead and craft to set it up for the actual building. I'm hoping I have the resources for this, but we might find out that I don't in the end. And alright, after looking through our chest of furniture, basically, I went ahead and found out that this is all we have, which to an extent is good. We have enough cauldrons, grindstones, smithing tables, brewing stands, and composters. However, that is not at all the amount of items that we still need. We still need a blast furnace, a wood smoker, 16 cartography tables, we need 11 barrels, we need 18 more fletching tables, 40 lecterns, 14 more stone cutters, we need 21 looms, which I don't even have. And I believe that is everything. I also just realized I completely put these out of order. This isn't the order of them in groupings. This is the order of them in alphabetical, so I need to fix that too. But yeah, we now need to craft a bunch of this stuff, and I don't even know if we have the ingredients to do so, but I'm gonna hope we have enough wood, iron, and stone. But we shall see if I need to go and collect more things. And alright, after all that crafting, this is what we ended up with. We actually had all the ingredients to make everything, which surprised me. I was expecting to run out of iron or possibly even wood with how much I needed to make the lecterns or like all the fletching tables and looms and cartography tables, or even the smokers take logs on themselves. So now what I think is that we can go ahead, head back over to where I was digging out an area for the villager hall and see if we can start planning out a floor plan for that. And here we are in all of its glory. Now, obviously, as you can see, I went ahead and finished digging this area out during the time between weeks, which it didn't take too long actually. It took a little bit of time, but not as long as I was expecting. So we have all this land to kind of work with and figure out what we want to do with it, how we want things to look, and I hope that it will look nice at some point. We'll see how well that works out. But first and foremost, we need to figure out the floor plan for this area, and that's kind of what I want to do this week, is just figure out a floor plan, which I do have an idea on what I want to look like, but I do also want to kind of figure out, okay, how far apart things should be, where things should possibly be, like if I should have a specific job on the left and a specific job on the right, stuff like that. The amount of snow on the ground also is going to irritate me at the moment, but at least when we actually start like putting stuff down, it'll disappear. But if it starts snowing while we're building as well, there's going to be snow all over the place, and I'll just have to take care of that as time goes on. Alright, so let's say we start with the building actually facing this way. Like this is where the entrance is, right here. I'm going to say I want to be a decent bits away from the little hill that's here that I didn't clear out, and I also want to be centered, so let me figure that out. So right here is actually the center, which actually works out pretty well because this is a naturally generated divot, so I know exactly where the center is gonna be, and I'm thinking maybe we'll just go 5-inch blocks in, and that'll be where the doorway is, maybe even like 7. So I brought some blocks with us as well to just kind of mark some things down. So let's say this is the entrance. I'm not thinking it'll be too wide, I think it'll be more of an open floor plan, but but now I need to figure out how wide I want the hallway to be. And I'm thinking maybe just 8 blocks would do the trick. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So there'd be a wall here, there'd be a wall here. And now I need to figure out how big the rooms are going to be. If the rooms are going to fit in the little thing I just made here. So, alright, so the way this is actually going to work for the villager rooms is we're going to have a room here. This is going to be a wall. This is going to be block behind the guy. This is going to be where the villagers are. That means this is where the room starts. 15 block. That'll be how wide the room is. Then we'll have a gap of 5 and then another 15. That actually gives us a lot of room to work with for like a storage room, which is quite nice. And then I also want to mirror that right there. So we'll do this all across. And this will actually open up into like a storage room right here, which I think will be fine. But now if I count this, that was what I was worried about. Now on this side, it's not that bad, but on this side, it's not going to work out too well. So lo and behold, I counted wrong, obviously, because I thought this would be a big enough space, but the way I want to do things. So this is kind of what it ends up looking like, and obviously this doesn't look like anything at all right now, but this is just kind of trying to get an idea down. So we currently have the front here. This would be where everything is. Then you have a doorway here, which right now I only have 2 blocks, but it could always extend out all the way over to here, and I need to sleep again. Give me a second. So yeah, we have the doorway here, and then if we walk in, we'll come in just a little bit, and then here is where the villagers will be. There'll be one room here. As you can see, the logs are currently in the wall, so I'm gonna have to dig out more area, which isn't horrible, but kind of still sucks. I'm kind of glad I didn't break this beacon now. There'll be another room over here, and then if you go a little bit more, there'll be just a little bit of a break between areas. I might be able to do something cool with like possible pixel art. There's a 5 block gap here. I might be able to do like an emerald or something, and then we can have another room here, and then finally you come through here again, and there is a room right here. This room, I'm thinking we could possibly do something similar with how wide it is over here and here, or we could shrink it down, one of the two, but I'm also thinking about putting another portal here. And this room will be the storage room for like all the items we buy or all the emeralds we get, stuff like that. However, as you may have noticed from me saying I have to dig all this out, we've run into an issue where I can't necessarily build too much because I want to knock this back maybe like 4 more blocks. Because it needs to be, basically the space between here and wherever I dig to here needs to be about the same space here to here, because this is going to house more villagers here. And I also need to do the exact same thing over on this side, because these logs actually come right up against here. And also like these little bits of grass, but this isn't that much of an issue. It's mainly just this and that whole side over there. So I thought I was done with mining, but apparently I wasn't, which kind of sucks, but oh well. That's what happens when I miscount apparently, but the big chunk of the portion of work is done. It's just we need to clean this up now, which I'm not going to do now, mainly due to the fact that I just don't have the time for it, but we have an idea of what the floor plan is going to be, so I'll meet you guys back at the base. And now that we're back at our base, the next thing we're going to be doing is the improvements, which we can finally start working on building the building for the water wheel. Because we have the water wheel over here, obviously, like it's just kind of sitting here floating in the water. And I want to go ahead and connect something up to this so that the water wheel kind of actually has a purpose and not just, oh, we have a wheel in the middle of this river. However, that means I have to move these guys first, which I'm thinking I might just end up doing what I did with the sheep over there, but we might move it to probably over here using our little pass that we've made, but we'll see what happens. And alright, now that we've moved the cows, I went ahead and grabbed our shulker box that has our building materials in it and realized that we do not have that many building materials. Namely, we got some dark oak and spruce and a little bit of cobbled deep slate, but this is all the cobbled deep slate we have. And I know I'm going to want more for what I'm about to build here, so I'm actually going to go ahead and go over to our mines, grab some deep slate. I'm going to go over to the dark oak and spruce forest. I'm going to grab some more of those logs, and I will meet you guys back here. Alright, now that I've gathered a bulk of each of these ingredients, we can finally go ahead and start working on our building. And currently the thing with this is I don't know how I want it to be, but what I was thinking, right, is that we can have it, obviously the walls start somewhere around here, which I'm actually going to take out the grass here, and have it start like this. That means this would have to get moved, and it'd be something like this. So this is kind of the size of the building I'm thinking. This floor will be taken out and probably replaced with like the dark oak or something, which, I mean, I could do right now, to be fair. I'm going to replace some of these, though, with some of the regular cobbled deep slate just to kind of give it a little bit more texture. And I think we'll have this go up to... Oh, where do I actually want this to go up to? Because I was thinking possibly having the door on this end, which means we might have to actually extend this grass out just a tiny bit. Yeah, we could do that, I guess. And something I am actually going to go ahead and do is I'm going to grab these spruce logs and I'm going to place these in the corners. So yeah, we'll maybe have the door like about here, I think. We can raise these up a little bit more. Now the other thing I'm thinking is maybe for like a way of dividing these two floors, we go ahead and put this stone brick down. I like that. It's not bad. I know how I feel about it, but it's not bad at least. Maybe... Yeah, we'll figure that out later. I want to go ahead and divide the two floors really quick and also put down the flooring on the basement. I might honestly move down this floor just a tiny bit, but we'll see about that. But otherwise, this is shaping up to be something. It's finally giving this some purpose. So something I actually kind of like the idea of, and I'm going to try, just real quick, is throwing some cut copper. Instead of having this, we have that. I want to take this and start adding some walls. But I've got an idea to add some texture on the outside. I also want to add in some windows, actually, and I think what I'm going to try and do, if I got some ink sacks, I might do some either gray or black tinted windows. Yeah, let's do some gray tinted windows at the bottom. I want to do gray because I just want to do, like, it's dirty, you know what I mean? Do I want to do light gray? I mean, I could do either. I can do both. Pop this out here, glass, like so. This is just to kind of give it, you know, a little, make it feel a little less cluttered. And then here I can do possibly something like so. As it look from the outside. Slightly strange, but it's not bad. I mean, this honestly does look quite nice in here. But on the outside, I've got some ideas to give it a little bit of texture. But for now, we'll just leave it as is. Oh, here, I can actually show you guys what I'm talking about. If I go ahead and drop, like, not much cobbled deep slate in. See what I'm thinking, though? It's a little bit too much for right here. So you can kind of see what I'm thinking about doing with the whole building, because like this texture is just gone around the entire thing. We can do that for the wood, we can do that for the stone bricks, and I think I'm going to. You know, I'll actually leave the wood alone for now, but I did go ahead and replace the stone bricks. Now what do we do with the top? Because I don't want to just do it so it's flat, but how do I make this look like it's supposed to be here? Well, actually, first off, we can go ahead and add some of these windows around here. That would probably make this look a little bit neater. And now, how do we do a roof? I have what might be an idiotic idea, but it might just work. Can I divide this up evenly? Not well. Some logs. So, this is usually how I do a roof. Like dividing it up with logs. Alright, yeah, I think I see how I want to do this. But I also want to add in some of the copper. Is there any other good blocks? No, it's just these. I already see how we're going to do this then. Oh, I haven't waxed any of these. Give me a second. This might have to be moved in at some point, which if it does, that's fine. But right now, I'm just going to leave it as is. And here, finally, is the final product of this building, which I actually don't think it turned out that bad. There is a few things that I do think may need to be changed. Obviously, I'm not going to be leaving torches up there when I actually have some other lighting besides torches. And you can see inside there's a bunch of torches. We'll get into the inside in a second. But yeah, no, there's the little bit of wood that's just kind of plain compared to the stone that I went ahead and did a decent bit of detailing with. I might change some of these into stairs is basically what I'm trying to say, but we'll see about that. You come inside. there's not much going on in here. It's just an empty room currently, but that is fine. Torches obviously need to be changed. I just threw them in here just so there would be light in here. Come down here, it's the same story. This is where the wheel is, and I think that needs to be changed as well. But I actually do quite like how it turned out. It is a decent amount of space that I can work with now. I might throw in some chests in here for storage. I might go ahead and put in a machine in here. Probably not anything too luxurious, obviously, because it is a small area, but it's nice, it's quaint, and I'm quite happy with how it actually turned out. It looks pretty nice from the inside. It looks decent out from the outside. It's finally connected to the water wheel, which I might move in like a block or two because it's actually, I don't know, just the length of this doesn't seem right. But, you know, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, actually. But sadly, the thing is, I was going to go ahead and do some more changes to our base. I was thinking about needing to go ahead and changing up the nether portal so that there was nether rack around to kind of make it more corrupted around there. And I also wanted to go ahead, if I can get it on screen really quick, this cave over here, I wanted to have water going through it to kind of simulate a waterfall. So there was like flowing water in this pond, but at the moment it's kind of hard to do due to the fact that I ran out of time. This build took up a lot more time than I was expecting, so sadly that's gonna have to be it for this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We got a decent bit done. We went ahead, figured out floor plans for the villager farm, we figured out the spider farm, and we also went ahead and built this thing right here. However, they all are like half finished projects, so I guess I know what I'm gonna be working towards next week. Nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great week. Take care, and I will see you guys hopefully in the next one. All right. Bye-bye.